Bianca with Leaders in Business podcast, where CEOs and executives in the digital marketing and social media space share their best advice. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know what they're talking about. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Gonca Esendemir. I am the co-founder and social media manager for a fast casual restaurant concept that my sisters and I founded in 2007. I'm also the social media manager for a new startup of ours, which is a CPG product that is launching into retail next year. I also manage our personal and professional social media accounts where we share our journey with our followers.
That's awesome. So what's the best thing about leading your business?
Well, in terms of using social media, I really appreciate that I get to connect with a worldwide audience for free. I get to share our passions, our lifestyle, business advice, and inspiration. And there's kind of there's no barrier to entry where we can connect with a worldwide audience about anything we want.
Well, that's great. So what's the best thing about, I hear from others that it can be challenging to grow your business today. So what are the biggest challenges you see business leaders facing today?
Well, I think that being able to cut through the noise is a big issue. I feel like whether it's in social media or in real life, it's a crowded marketplace. So trying to break through the noise and share yourself or what you're offering, what you're selling has become really difficult because people are so overwhelmed with content that it just becomes a noisy environment. So I think that that's a really big challenge, reaching your audience and being able to sustain their attention for the long term.
Yeah, that's totally true. So what is the best advice that you can give to other business leaders about creating a successful business?
I think that first you have to be authentic. People are drawn to brands and stories that are authentic and that they can connect with on a real level. I think that the advantage of being authentic is that you get to cut through the noise and the crowded marketplace a lot easier because people are so inundated with filtered content and Photoshop content, and they're bombarded with so much inauthenticity that they begin to really appreciate when a brand or a person is being real. I think that you also need to tie in your real life values to your brand. Trying to be something that you're not actually in real life will come across. I think that maintaining your values is really important, and I think that's worked very well for my sisters and I, not only just in building our business, but in also building our personal brand. We don't share anything or sell anything that we wouldn't buy ourselves. We just share a very true, real part of ourselves, and I think people appreciate that. They're able to connect to it. I also think knowing when to sell and when to just offer value and share is important. I think that there's so many people out there trying to sell you something, but not too many people are sharing value. And I think people appreciate sharing value. Also, take the time out to learn about not only the industry you're in, that's really important and critical, but also in terms of social media, take time to learn about every single platform that you want to be on, because not every platform works the same. It's worth investing your time into, learning about hashtags, searching feeds, and seeing what the trends are and what people are sharing, and seeing how you can be a part of that conversation.
Yeah, that's totally true. So you mentioned about being authentic, of course, in doing content creation. So do you have simple ways or simple tips in order for our business leaders to have a authentic content?
Well, what I do personally is I take tons of photos, and I will take those photos and I actually recycle them a lot throughout our social media profiles, and I kind of alter them to fit whatever platform we want to share them on. But again, like when I'm taking those photos or I'm developing content, I'm doing it from a very real place. Like I don't for my sisters and I, we don't feel compelled to share anything that doesn't really align with our values. For example, this may seem like a really minute example, but we don't feel compelled to post bikini photos of ourselves. That doesn't align with our values. That's not who we are. We were raised in a very traditional conservative way. So that comes across in our posting. In terms of our brand, we very much stick to sharing content that is unique to us. We don't copy other people's content. We shoot photos of our own products, our own food, and we share those. And I think that allows us to maintain our unique identity, and people are able to recognize that's our brand, because we sell very unique food that nobody else sells. So we're sharing what we sell in real life.
Yeah, that's true. Putting authentic content in the social media space right now. So what other successful business leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge and should be on the podcast?
Well, in terms of digital marketing, I'm a big Seth Godin fan because he's quirky and he's different, kind of like me. Right now, I'm following a lot of people in the CPG space because that's the new industry that we're starting up in. And Adam Brown he's the CEO and founder of Circle Media, and that is a social media marketing agency. But he shares just a great amount of content. He's not trying to sell you anything. He's technically selling you his knowledge through his posts, but he just shares content that helps me as a social media leader to, see what other brands are doing and how I could do that as well. So I really appreciate that. And I'd highly recommend you follow him because he knows his stuff.
Awesome. I will look them up. Now, for the final fun question, who is the most interesting person to follow on social media and why?
Okay, so I'm going to go with, right now for me, it's been Sarah Cooper, and I love what she's doing in not only just comedy, she's kind of an activist, but she doesn't tell you she's an activist, and she's just funny. And I think that right now, with our political environment and global pandemic, we all need to really laugh. So she gives me a good laugh on the daily. So I definitely recommend check her out, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Totally. It was a pleasure having you on. So how can people find you?
Thank you. Well, I'm on LinkedIn, Gonca Esendemir, and I'm also on social media with my sisters, Esendemir Sisters, and our brand is Flatbread Grill.
Well, that's a wrap. This is Bianca with Leaders in Business Podcast. For more insights and ideas, go to our website, leadersandbusinesspodcast.com.